Setting up your meeting.
L-
Love
What's
it when
going
a
on,
plan
everybody?
comes together. Hello, hello.
Yes. What's going on, everybody? I hope you guys had a good week. We are live now, by the way. But we trying something a little different. But you know, as usual, you know, well, no, hold up, let me stop. Okay, there we go. I got my thoughts. I had to gather my thoughts, everybody.
It happened fast. Like all of a
It
sudden
happened.
we were just live and it's like, oh shoot, we are live. Casey, stop digging up your nose. We're live.
Right. All right. No, we just gathering my thoughts. But no, I hope everybody's had a good week. If you haven't seen last week's episode, please go check that out. We had a great guest. We had Senate candidate Eric Smith, Miss Erica Smith. Phenomenal. She killed it. It was a great interview. She asked all our hard hitting questions. Um, yeah, it was definitely good. So if you haven't checked that out, please go check it out. And of course, everything that we talk about tonight will be in the description after the show. So if you can't find it, that's fine. You can go on channel 323 on
Yes.
youtube.com, and you can find it there. But if you don't mind and you want to wait till after the show, which it's fine. That'll be great. Stay here, watch the whole show.
Watch the
But
whole
after,
show.
you know, I mean, it helps us. It helps the YouTube algorithm. We're trying to climb up in there. Get our stuff shown through all
Yep.
of YouTube land. So stay for the whole show. It helps. Hit the like button too. By
And
the way,
subscribe. And the
yes,
notification bell. Please,
yes.
please, please. If you don't do anything else today, hit that subscribe button and that notification bell for us so you can get the updates. Because we want you
Yes.
guys to have the updates.
Yeah, we want you guys to know what's going on when we go live. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, go check out that show. That's where you can find it. We'll have it in the description. Um, my week's been great, but how's your week been? How have you been doing?
Oh, man. No, actually, I have almost got the whole house vaccinated, everyone. How is the chat doing too? Let
Nice.
me just say hi to everyone. You guys up in there. I haven't checked to see who is in the chat yet. I got to do that. I hope everyone's in there. I know who's supposed to be in there and they better be in there.
Oh,
Um,
y'all better be in there.
yeah, y'all better be in there who's supposed to be in that chat and you know who you are. So don't even play that. Um, so don't play. So the week's
Don't
been
play.
good. Again, everyone is vaccinated. Just about one daughter has one more vaccine. We are going to do that on Sunday. Happy about that. My 12-year-old has gotten her first vaccine because mommy don't play that. As soon as
Hmm.
as soon as Biden said, yo, 12-year-olds can be vaccinated on Thursday, I was like, where can we get signed up? And she was vaccinated on Friday afternoon. So I am so happy about that. I'll be even happier once she gets her second vaccine in June. June. I don't remember. It's written down somewhere, but
No, that's what's up, yo. If you can, yo, I'm fully vaccinated.
yeah, you've
A
been
lady,
vaccinated for a while
yeah,
too. Yeah.
yeah. A lady, she's fully vaccinated. Um, and yeah, if you haven't, please go get it.
Yes.
As you know, the mask mandate, all of that, the restrictions are loosening. But please, if you haven't got it, go get it. Um, so you can have a even better summer. You can get out. You don't have to worry. And if you do have it, and somebody, friends, family members that haven't, talk to them. Let them know.
Right.
Of course, it's definitely that person's choice. We don't want to shame anybody for not getting it. But
I
let them
shame
know.
everybody. I'm sorry, anyone, if
Hey,
I've shamed.
that's
I'm sorry if I've shamed
no,
you,
that's what it is.
but I'm afraid for you, and I kind of think you're selfish too. But even my own people who have not gotten their vaccines, I kind of feel the same way. But it's your choice.
Yeah, no,
It is your choice.
I know a couple people in my family who are like, nah, I'm not getting it. I'm like, oh, please, for
Yeah.
me.
Right. But
For
you
you.
know what? I'm just gonna shame you because whenever you come around, I'm gonna be doing this right here. I'm gonna be putting like 3 of these joints.
Yo.
They
Yo.
come in here, I'm gonna be like, here you go.
I mean, that's what you're supposed to do, though. But
Yeah,
if you can, please get it. And if not, it is what it is. I'm enjoying my summer.
yeah.
I'm trying to make plans. My only major plan for the summer is to get fat on barbecue. I want it. I want barbecue chicken. I want barbecue hot dogs. I want grilled corn. I want I want some grilled asparagus. I want some grilled mushrooms. You know what I'm
Okay. We
saying?
got it. We
Like,
got it.
yo,
You're making us hungry. Those of us who
that's
have not eaten yet. So let's go.
oh, I'm sorry. But yo, hit that like button if y'all just like all that food I said though. Cause y'all know it's gonna go down. That's my summer goal. So yeah, ready to get the show started?
Yes, I am.
There it is. There it is. I hope everybody has gotten comfortable. I hope you got your drinks together. You're sitting back, relaxed, and we're about to get right into it.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna just get right into it. Thank you. Welcome for everybody that's just now tuning in. If this is your first time tuning in, welcome. Thank you. We are a local online news show. We talk about local, national, and international news. I am your co-host, Mr. Casey.
I'm your co-host, Lana Quest.
There it is. There it is. I mean,
I'm
I go by
Lana.
Casey.
I'm
I mean,
Lana. Like
we're trying a
Cher.
little, yeah, trying something a little different. I'm Casey. You know what I'm saying? That's Lana Quest.
Right.
So, but with that being said, I got some quick news. I got a couple quick news, like we always do. Um, this is local news, and again, everything that we talk about will be in the description below. But if you are in the state of Massachusetts, this weekend is Greek Food Fest or Greek Fest. So the local Greek population in Brockton, Mass, is coming together to put on a festival. If you are a fan of Greek food and you want to go out and you're looking for something to do this weekend, the Greek Food Fest is happening out here in Brockton, Mass. It's from May 21st to May 23rd. So
I have a question. So, is everyone eating outside? Or
I
is
would
everyone
I
eating with no masks on? Like, how does this work? Mask.
so it says it's outside. Um and I don't see anything on the flyer or their website about masks. So wear masks? I don't know.
Yeah,
I
take your
mean,
mask. Yeah.
me personally, again, like I said, I am and Miss Quest is as well, but
Well,
definitely
Massachusetts is still mandated. Like, we don't play here, so they're still mandating masks. I don't think he's dropped the mask mandate for us.
just be responsible. Like if
Yeah,
you know if you're gonna go
exactly.
into a crowded area, if you're not eating, of course, I at work I still wear my mask, but we're in a I'm in an office building. But even still, like, you know, be smart as you can. I know a lot of our viewers are smart and intelligent people. So I know they've been doing the right thing during this whole pandemic. I ain't got no worries, no qualms. But hey, sometimes you forget. Just be smart. If you, especially on the train, if you're getting on the train, wear a mask. Some people just nasty, just in general. Even before the pandemic, people was nasty. Let's just be honest about that. Anyway, my last quick news, and I'll have this in the description. Well, you know what? I'm gonna leave that just for the description. There was a visual for two young kids, unfortunately, who were playing at DW Park in Brockton, and they drowned. They were both trying to. One brother was trying to save the other one. Unfortunately, they both drowned. It's so unfortunate. But they did. There was a visual, and I'll have information about the two brothers in the description after the show. Sorry, I had to end my quick news on that. But hey, if you like Greek food, it's going down this weekend. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I got. What about you, Miss Quest? What you got?
You had quick news. I have a little more quick news than that.
Hey, let them know. Let them know what you got.
So what's going on? We just about to go in on what happened. There was a lot that happened this week, but also it was like nothing at all. It's like the same thing every single week, but just regurgitated in a different manner. So let's see. A judge tried to run down some Black Lives Matter protesters in North Carolina. That happened, but we already know that judges and cops and sheriff, those jobs have been infiltrated by like the Klan Billies and the Proud Boys and all the rest of them from the beginning of time. So this is really not a surprise. So he did do that. I'm pretty sure he's going to keep his judgeship. I don't even know what happened to him. Like they probably threw him a party. Like he's probably cool. Everyone's, oh yeah, do it again. I mean, hell, DeSantis is saying it's okay in Florida to run down protesters because they shouldn't be protesting. So vehicular homicide is apparently okay with Republicans. So that happened.
Real quick. One thing I want to say about that I really don't like when they keep referring to the terrorists that stormed the Capitol January 6th, because not everybody does it. And I'm not saying that you did it. I just thought about how they kept calling them protesters. And I hated that because
they're not protesters.
No, they weren't. And it seems like certain laws that they're trying to formulate in some states have passed is based on what they did by calling them protesters. No, you can't call them protesters and then watch them, storm the Capitol and then create laws based on what they did. You know what I mean? Like
I don't know if that's what they're doing, or it seems like they're more so trying to stop protesting. That's why they're doing the laws. They don't want us to protest. That they have a problem with that. The rioters, that's a whole different other beast, because that's about Trump and everything like that. So they're calling that like, a picnic and stuff like that, which we know.
Yeah.
They're not.
Somebody said they were tourists.
Yeah, exactly.
Snapping pictures.
They know better. They know what protesters are. They absolutely do. I mean, because the interesting thing is when there were protests, and at the end of the protest, if there was a faction of people that weren't even involved in the protest rioted, they pinned that on Black Lives Matter, and that became a problem. But the actual rioters that were defecating in the Capitol building and having Confederate flags and beating up the police.
Which they claim to stand for in Blue Lives Matter, but yet they were beating the shit out of them.
Right, and how can they stand for them when they actually voted against a bill to, I think, give them more money today?
Oh, the commission.
Yeah, right. No, I thought there was something else, but not the commission. I thought that there was something that they were trying to pass that would drop it in the chat, guys, if you know what I'm talking about. I think they were trying to pass something that help the Capitol Police. I don't know if that was a part of the commission. I don't think it's
That
part of the commission because
sounds
they
that actually sounds familiar. I'm not too sure, but
right,
that sounds very
right,
very familiar. But
right.
yes, yo, if you guys know what she's talking about or what we're talking about, let us know in the chat. If
Yeah.
you actually have a link, hey, leave it in there. We'll put
Right.
it in the description so more people can have that information as well.
Right. Sorry, guys. This is supposed to be quick news. Val
Keep going.
Demings is considering a Senate run in Florida. Um, so you guys know that Alan Ellison has already been, campaigning for this seat. So we have to watch and see what Val Demings, no matter what happens, they would both be great senators for Florida. I would personally prefer that she ran for governor since he's already been doing what he's doing. But, we have to wrap our arms around all of our candidates and, support them all. So um,
Mm-hmm.
may the
And
best
it'll
man.
be. I mean, yeah, I agree. I think it would be a better look if she did run for governor. She had, but if we got to wrap our hands around
Right,
it's
all of them. Whoever comes out of it, that's who we have to go with. That's just
yeah,
how that works.
and they're both represent the people. So
Exactly.
it's regardless of who gets in there, they're gonna do the job that we want because they represent the people. They have the experience. They know what's going on.
Right.
So regardless, of which one, if she does actually throw her hat in, and takes on the campaign, hey, it makes it harder, but it's a good hard choice, you
Right.
know. And I like those hard, tough choices because it's like, man, we have two awesome candidates that represent the people. It's just I can't,
Right.
so
Right. And let the
it's
let the people of Florida, they will decide
right.
ultimately. So, well, yeah. Good luck to both of them. So
Hmm.
next, rest in peace, Paul Mooney. He died of a heart attack this week. And if you don't know who Paul Mooney is, where have you been?
Right.
He is was a fierce comedian. He wrote for Richard Pryor, actually. He was back in the day with those guys, and he was very, very he just said whatever. I loved Paul Mooney. Like he just told it how it was. He wrote for Sanford and Son. I don't know if
Hmm.
I'm dating myself. If you guys don't know what Sanford and Son is, I don't know. Google it, DVR it. It's still playing. Oh my goodness. He wrote, right. He also wrote for Good Times. So,
Hmm.
rest in power, Paul Mooney.
He was also
Um,
on he was also a cast member of SNL for a short stint
right.
as well.
Right. And I think he made some appearances on the Chappelle show, maybe.
Yep.
Not
And
sure.
that's where if people do know about Paul Mooney, that's probably where they would
Right.
know him from is the
Right.
Dave Chappelle show. But yeah, just
Yeah.
like
Oh,
Miss
right.
West
Right.
said, he's been around for a while. He influenced a lot
Comedians. Right.
of great black comedian legends. Um, Richard Pryor, Eddie Murphy, Red, if
Red
people know
Fox.
who
Yeah.
Red Fox,
Yeah.
he was around that time, and like she said, he told it like it was.
Mm-hmm.
I've been watching a lot of different clips from different comedians who been around him and got to interact with him. There was one I forgot his first name, something Pierre, but he was the light skinned guy in How to Be a Player. And he was telling his story and how Paul Mooney took him under his wing, and he used to wait um, at the comedy show till midnight to watch him to do stand up because
Wow.
one, he was good, everybody wanted to come see him, but at the same time, all his jokes were just like, yo, he went in on white people. I'm sorry, he went in. He went in, and he was saying by like the 20-minute mark in his act, it would all the white people would just leave, and it would be just the black people in there laughing. But he told it like it was. He held no punches, and
Right.
he's definitely a legend. If you can, you guys go check out some of the stand-ups.
Yeah. Rest in
R.I.P.
power, Paul Mooney. So also what happened this week, Texas signed a law that will take effect sometime in the beginning of September. So only abortions would be allowed before the presence of a heartbeat. So if you are a woman, or if you've ever had children or been involved when your woman was pregnant, you know that the minute she finds out that she's pregnant, like, gets it confirmed, there's already a heartbeat. Like, there's really no, you know what I mean? Like, you're not, oftentimes you don't find out right away because oftentimes your period may just be late anyway. So you're waiting a couple of weeks or 3 weeks to see. And by that time, by the time you get it confirmed, you are 6 weeks pregnant and there is a fetal heartbeat. So, also what happened is a Mississippi abortion case is going to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court um, had not been open to hearing one of these cases, but now they are.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of like a legal precedence here that they are really testing the waters. They're trying to get rid of Roe v. Wade. I mean,
I have a question.
sure.
Is can you so based off what the law is saying, can you detect if you're pregnant? Let's say, not you personally, but let's just say a lady, her and her man got it in last night, right? Can she then go to the doctor the next day?
No, I think it's too soon. You have to have enough hormone in your body, right, to detect it. And the pregnancy tests are getting better than when, I was younger because you really had to wait a little while. So I think now it's like the first day of your missed period, you can actually go and see, but you can't do it like right after you had unprotected sex. There's no hormone in your body.
Okay, so that leads into my second question. So
Mm-hmm.
how early, like when is the earliest a lady would know? Like what kind of test would a doctor have to do in order to know you're pregnant? Like what's the earliest a doctor can say, so okay, you're not going to know a day. What about a week? Is that possible
It's
to
after
know?
it's after your missed period because they need you to have enough hormone. Because if you go in before your missed period, maybe you go in 2 weeks before your period is doing like, oh, I had unprotected sex. I'm so worried. That
Mhm,
may not be conclusive. Like it may read negative because you just don't have enough of I forget what the hormone is that tells them
mhm.
that you're pregnant. And like the more the hormone, that's kind of how they measure how many weeks you are. And then
Okay.
they, right.
So my next thing is, has there ever been a abortion at a period of time that is would be within a 15-week period or however short of time period they give you, like it doesn't make sense. Like I've never heard of, and I don't have, I'm not a lady, so I wouldn't know. And I never actually had to think about it
Right.
really at this level. But
Right.
has there ever been an abortion within that time frame? Like, would anybody of our viewers, ladies, would you guys know? Like,
What do you mean
how?
abortion?
Like, so they're giving you.
The
They
minute you
said
find
within the
out,
law.
yeah, with the minute you find out, you can get an abort. Like, well, not in those
Yeah,
places
but
because, oh, go on.
it's but they're saying it's based off a heartbeat.
There lies the
And
problem. There lies the
and so
problem.
and that's what I'm trying to get at.
Right.
How can you then determine if there's no heartbeat? What tests have there that doctors can do to know if a lady is pregnant? And
Okay,
if
so
so,
okay, let me answer that because
go ahead.
that's the little disconnect and that's the confusing part. You don't have to have the heartbeat to know that you're pregnant. So
Okay.
if you find out really early, like you go in the first day of your missed period and you go and get it, that's really early. So you may be just pregnant, maybe you're 3 weeks, so you're not going to have a heartbeat at that point. Oftentimes women don't do that the first day unless they're really nervous. You know what I mean?
And
Sometimes,
that's what I'm trying to figure out.
well,
Like,
see,
that's not logical.
they're not logical. They're trying to outlaw it. So that's what it is. That's them trying to like squeeze you into the box where you just don't have any more choices. And that is what that is. Because if you're someone who is always late with your period, right? You're
Hmm.
always late. So you don't even know, with two of mine, I didn't find out until it was almost 5 months. Like those were the quickest pregnancies ever because I was irregular. I didn't get period. I may get a period maybe back when I was younger, twice a year or three. Like that's just how it was with my body. Like I forget what it's called, but I didn't get it. So I never knew
And so,
until until later on. That's why it's so messed up for women. And it's like Texas already, they have a high rate of women who die having babies. It's like 43%. That is
what?
absolutely insane. 43%. They don't have these Planned Parenthood is only in 4% of their communities. 4%. For all of Texas, Texas is huge. They're trying to get rid of it. That's really what it is. I mean, Abbott signed that thing today, and you had like 5 or 6 women and all white men. 5 or 6 women, crazy women, and all men.
And those women probably will never have kids again. And I'm
Right,
not
they're probably
saying
done.
anything
No, it's true.
like
They're probably
oh,
finished.
we're good. Like, it's just
It's
it's
unbelievable.
infuriating.
It
I don't I'm a guy, and it's just like what you're asking women to do. Again, I don't have the experience. I never
right,
thought about it, but there has to be some data where it says yes, a lady has gotten an abortion at this time, and I just don't see how that's possible, because it's like you said. I feel from what I'm seeing, you're forcing ladies to, every time they have unprotected sex, they have to go right
right.
to the doctor, and that's just not
Or
that's
try to
not
find a plan B. And it's so crazy because no offense to people who don't believe in it, and you don't have to believe in it because you don't have to have it. Right? You have to give the option to women. Like, why are you controlling women's bodies? That's so their choice is something so intimate, even between a man and a woman, a husband and a wife. If they're like, oh my God, we already have 4 kids, I don't have a job, I've lost my job, we can't afford this right now, you're making them have this kid. If the woman is raped by her uncle, she has to have that kid. That's how these laws are written. That's why it's so imperative, like the South and all this SHIT happens in the South. Like, this isn't in a vacuum. I'm not saying the North is so much better, but
yeah.
really look at what happens in the South. It's these Southern states, it's the Republican run states that have been taking advantage of the majority there, taking advantage of, people of color not voting in Alabama, not coming out in Mississippi, not really coming out in Oklahoma, like all those places that you're not coming out at. That's why they're doing this to you. You have to
Hmm.
start coming out, and they're making it even harder for you to come out because they're making it harder for us. These killings, and you're going to talk about it
Hmm.
later on, like Andrew, what's his name? I can't even remember. There's so many of them.
Yeah.
The one in North, right? The guy in North Carolina. That's North Carolina. Then the
Oh
one
yeah. Andrew Brown.
Andrew
Andrew
Brown,
Brown Jr.
and then look at Green, Louisiana, all of these southern states that are pissed off because slavery does not exist anymore, right? They can't
Hmm.
control, they want to control your bodies. They want to control Black men, women, and children. They're hella pissed. So it's dangerous and violent right now. It's happening not in a vacuum. It is happening all across the South like crazy. And there's a reason. There's a reason for that.
Hmm.
I'm sorry I went off, but that's gonna be
No, no. Real
all of
quick,
the quick
just the
news.
last thing to add to that, and
Go
the
ahead.
main thing is this is why we have to know who's in office. You have
Right.
to know because if you have the right people in office that understand, of course you see a exponentially amount of Black women getting elected to office that have these issues, that know what to do, that are going to vote in the right way.
Right.
At the same time, we have to get more Black women in the Senate because that's where all the holdups are happening, is
Right.
in the Senate.
The Senate.
We have the House. I mean, it's a small
Barely.
majority lead in the House,
We barely have the house.
but we have it,
Barely.
and we need more people in the House. That's why we got. That's
Yeah.
why if you live in the state of Washington, y'all better elect Brent Heinrich because he's going to go directly to the House because he has a platform of healthcare and women's rights.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's why y'all need to tune in because we will connect the dots and explain why certain
Right.
things are and how we can change it because that's what we need. We need a change. We will
We need
point out
change.
all the BS and injustices all day.
Right.
But if we don't have a solution, if we don't have a plan, nothing's going to change.
Right.
And we can protest and march all day, but if we don't have the people in office that recognize the protest, that recognize the injustice, that recognize why they're protesting,
Right.
that's when we can get change. And so
Right.
that's why you got to tune in. It will
Right.
help
Right.
you.
I mean, and this is the last tag on that, but look what just happened in North Carolina where the DA came out and said that the police were justified in killing Mr. Brown. So,
Yeah. Just, are you
right.
kidding me?
That's the DA, right? Again, look at that in comparison to Minnesota, where you have Keith Ellison, Democrat, progressive, honest, not a
Right?
Trump loyalist, not a crazy Republican. That's why what happened in Louisiana is so disgusting because that guy, what's his name? Johnson
Hmm.
is the governor there. Is it Ron Johnson or one
Yeah,
of I
Ron
don't not
Johnson,
Ron Johnson. I don't know. One of those
the governor of
governors.
Louisiana.
He's a racist. He's a vile, disgusting racist. That is why they covered up that video for 2 years of Mr. Green. They covered it up. They lied about it. And I know you're gonna talk about it, but that's crazy. You gotta vote. You have to vote. You can't don't listen to these fools that are saying vote and get you nowhere. No, not voting doesn't get you anywhere. Like you don't have a
Hmm.
say. Come on, you're the one that's on the plantation when you're not voting. Because guess
Hmm.
what? People on the plantation don't vote.
Right,
Stop it.
right. And
It's
and
so
and don't get
ridiculous.
and lastly, so we can get on to some more quick news and things like that. But this is the very last thing. If you're in Georgia, Florida, these states where they're doing these horrible, Jim Crow laws, don't let that get you down. You know what I'm saying? Like I said before, get energized, get pumped because they're scared of your voice. And when we
Yeah.
come together with our voting power, we can make a change. That's why they're doing all these draconian, Jim Crow, racist laws to keep us down because they know we've proven it time. Within the last 2 years, our voices have been heard and we've
Right.
gotten the people that we want
Right.
in office.
Right.
So don't let that discourage you. Get energized. Like, yes, it's just like what they say. Oh, you ain't doing something right if you ain't got no haters. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? In the Republican Party, the Republican governors, just the Republicans, they're hating
Right.
for doing
Right.
something right. Let that energize you. Let that pump you up. Like, you think that's gonna stop me? You think because I can't give water to people in line, you think that's gonna stop me? I'm gonna
Right.
be somewhere giving them water so that they have it already in line. You
Right.
know what I mean? Like, let that energize. So that's all I gotta say. can continue with the quick news.
Now I'm gonna be done with the quick news. No more quick news. We're gonna go on to the quotes, so we can just
Let's do it.
get going. Let's go on to the next segment. You guys ready for some quotes? Let's go. So quotes. All right. First quote. I know we need like some type of segment music or something. One of these
Right,
days we'll get that.
I'm gonna get. I need the little flat batteries because I got a little noise maker,
Oh,
and
good.
it's loud enough to where people can hear it. I just need little flat batteries.
Okay. First quote. Ready?
Let's do it. Let's do it.
You can't separate peace from freedom because no one can be at peace unless he has freedom. You can't separate peace from freedom because no one can be at peace unless he has freedom. You can't separate peace from freedom because no one can be at peace unless he has freedom. So this is a historical person, not alive today.
We got a historical person, not alive today.
Yes, a historical figure. Not Abrams, but I know that there's a delay, so. Yeah. Oh, okay. Michelle P. Yes, she got it. Malcolm X. Okay, good job.
Let's go.
Happy birthday. Happy born day, Malcolm X. His birthday was yesterday. So
nice.
Happy
born day. Rest in power.
Rest in power. Next quote. This one is easy. Investigation of the Trump org is no longer purely civil in nature. We are now actively investigating the Trump organization in a criminal capacity.
I know this one. I got an idea. I got an idea.
I will say it again for the people in the back. Investigation of the Trump organization is no longer purely civil in nature. We are now actively investigating the Trump organization in a criminal capacity.
Oh.
Hey, good job,
y'all
Mary.
Fired. Let's go.
Yes, Letitia.
We got Mary and Infinite. They both
all of them.
Everybody.
Yep. Well, except for it's not Pelosi. That was good. But yes, Letitia James. Good job.
You take black woman as well. That works. You don't get all the points for that, but you get some. You get some points for that.
Yeah, good job. Okay, next quote. I had to break this one up a little bit. It was pretty long. I hold being president as an ambition. And more importantly, I have a responsibility to say yes. Okay, so let me give you background. This person was asked if they would run for presidency. So, and they said, I hold being president as an ambition. And more importantly, I have a responsibility to say yes. For every young woman, every person of color, every young person of color who sees me and decides they are capable. I know that was long. I'm sorry. I'll read it.
No, but that was a good one.
Yeah. So again, they were asked if they would run for president. And they said, I hold being president as an ambition. And more importantly, they answered it. Infinite got it. Infinite got it. Yeah, and Michelle P. Yeah, good job. Stacey Abrams. Yeah.
So what you're saying by that quote, from what she said, she is or she would.
It's an ambition. So yes, she will down the line. It is an ambition. She would say yes because has a responsibility. Yeah. I love her.
I would vote. I would be like, yep.
Yeah.
Let's get her in.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah. Let's say, okay, here is one. We need two political parties that recognize reality. And you ain't one of them.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone in this chat should know who that is. We need 2 political parties that recognize reality, and you ain't one of them.
Fire quote.
Fire
quote. Oh.
We need 2 political parties that recognize reality, and you ain't one of them. Come on, chat. Where y'all at? Oh, good job.
Oh, there we go. There we go. Mr. Tim Ryan. Yes. Yes.
Yeah, good job. Okay, I'm gonna cut it short and do one more, and that will be it.
All righty.
All right. Oh, good job. Everyone's coming in with Ryan. Marjorie Taylor Greene. Okay, so last quote. It's not a law to wear a mask. It's a mandate from the dictators. What crazy person said this week? This person was trending this week for being a crazy person at a Costco.
Crazy.
Or, well, maybe he was responding to Costco. It was about Costco. It's not a law to wear a mask. It's a mandate from the dictators. And this is a child 80s star. Dried up child 80s star.
Yeah.
Dried up celebrity wanting to be relevant. Oh, that's close. Ricky Schroeder. So I'm just going to say yes on that because so Ricky Schroeder is the one that was fighting with Costco. And then Scott Baio. Scott Baio came in. And so between the two of them, they were tweeting about Costco. And I think this came from Scott Baio in response to Ricky Schroeder. He was helping his boy out. So thank you guys. That was awesome. You guys are so tuned in. I love how tuned in everyone is. It's really good. It's great. Makes me so happy. So I'm just gonna move on and go really quick because we're running out of time. You got to get your stuff in. So as we were talking about abortion, and because abortion was just all over the TV, and the Republicans are so anti-abortion and pro-life, right? I'm just going to show the hypocrisy of the pro-life, and I probably don't even have to show the hypocrisy because you guys already see it. It's ridiculous. So between 1929 and 1970, there was something called a eugenics program. And if you don't know what the eugenics program is, it was a forced sterilization of women. This is what they were doing. And this was in North Carolina. I'm telling you, it's no coincidence. It's no coincidence.
North Carolina is just sick.
It really is. I would not live there. I tell people all the time, my mom was alive. It was like, come to Alabama. I'm like, I am not taking my children to Alabama to live. Like, I'm just not, that's not a thing that's going to happen. Y'all ain't doing that to me. But anyway, I digress. Between 1929 and 1970, there was a statewide eugenics program. Statewide. Now, did you hear what I said? 1970. So from the 29 to 1970s, they were forcing sterilization on women. So it was more than 4 decades of this. So they were forcibly sterilized, and they've sterilized during this time about 7,600 women. Yes, 7,600 women. 60% were, you guessed it, Black, of course.
Black.
What? Well, right. Wouldn't they be? Why not?
Why wouldn't it be? Like, come on now.
Why not? We're always getting, shit on left and right. Why not? So 60% of the women were Black. So it was a selective sterilization program. And it was such a program that they had a pamphlet. I found a pamphlet that they were giving out around the state. And this is what the pamphlet read. Let's see. It said, where are we? Oh, selective sterilization protects children, for no child should be born to subnormal parents.
Wow.
So the sterilization here was protecting the children.
What children if they're being sterile?
But right now, because women are making a choice to not have kids, now it's a problem and you have to have the kids. Like, which one is it? Which one
Mm-hmm.
is it, guys? Like, what are we doing right now? You know? Uh, okay. So anyway, so what was going on back in North Carolina was that they were taking the welfare rolls. That's what was going on. They were trying to save money. So they didn't want people on welfare to be having more and more kids. So they were sterilizing them. True story. This is the brutality of these people. And this is what they don't want you to learn. This is why they don't want you to know about critical race theory. They don't want you to know how brutal and disgusting and vile they were, because you'll know how jacked up they are. You will know how they pillaged and raped their way into wealth and stole other people's wealth. Why do you think that Black people don't have generational wealth? For how? How if you're sterilizing us? And just now in 2010, just in 2010, they're like, oh, maybe we should give these people some type of reparations? Like, what? So just in 2010, guess what? $20,000. They found 220 survivors and gave them
Wow.
$20,000. So reparations, y'all. Next,
Wow.
next is
That's
crazy.
wild.
That
That's wild.
it's crazy. And you know what? Since we're talking about babies, let's just move on into, further back in history and tell another story about how much these white Christian men just love the babies. Let's talk about that.
Little babies.
They just love the babies. All the babies, the Black babies, the brown babies they put in the cages, the Black babies that they kill. Let's just continue to talk about that, huh? Let's go there. So Mary Turner, 1918. This month, May of 1918, this story happened. So Mary Turner was a pregnant Black woman. She was 8 months pregnant when her husband was lynched.
Wow.
The day after her husband was lynched, Mary Turner spoke out about it, how she wasn't happy because she was 8 months pregnant. So a mob grabbed her up for speaking publicly about lynching her husband the day before. They bound her by her feet. They hung her from a tree, head hanging down, facing down. They threw gasoline all over her, burned her alive, cut the baby out of her stomach. Baby fell to the ground and they stomped the baby, because this is how much they care about the babies, right? Like, you need to know about this brutality because this brutality did happen. It's like we can't hide this, right? That's why we videotape what happened to Green. That's why we videotape and we continue to show it. You have to watch it. You can't shy from this. Just like Emmett Till's mom was like, no, you have to see the brutality. You have to see it. You have to believe it. Everyone has to know what they did to my child. That is why they released that tape on Green. This is why I'm telling this story, because the stories are brutal and there's not one that's more, torturous than the other. They're all equally disgusting. Emmett Till, they killed that baby too. For what? Maybe whistling at a white woman? Who knows? They kidnapped him, put a fan around his neck, beat him, shot him in the eye, threw him over into the river. George Steiny, they said he killed 2 11-year-olds. He was 14 playing with his sister. They arrested him, gave him a trial, and electrocuted him, all within months. He didn't even turn 15. He was still 14. Couldn't even reach the thing that electrocutes, and they sat him under a Bible to kill him. His parents didn't even see him when they took him from the house, arrested him. They never saw him again alive. That was it. That's how much they care about the babies, the Trayvon Martins, the Tamir Rice. Don't be fooled. They don't care about our kids. They don't care about black kids. They don't care about brown kids. And they damn sure don't even care about white kids. They didn't even want to give your white kids relief. They voted against that.
Mm-hmm.
They don't care about
Think
your
about
kids.
that.
Yeah, they don't care about your kids either. They didn't even want to expand the tax credit. They don't care about your kids. Stop voting for these people. That's my story. I'm done.
No, that they don't. They definitely don't care about our kids, and they damn sure don't care about the white kids. Just like you said, they did not vote to pass the expansion. Hey, they only care about rich white folk, and poor white folk are pawns in their game, and they got them brainwashed. We've been saying it for a long time. We've been saying it for a very long time. For the past 5 years, the Republican Party has lied blatantly to their faces, and they've been brainwashed since the 1800s. They've been brainwashing poor white people, and it's sad. And I don't mean to say it like that, but it's saddening because they're ripping your safety net from right up under you, and you don't see it. We see it because we're yelling at them like, yo, they're taking our net. Like, you don't see what they're doing. Yes, they're doing it to us, but they're doing it to you as well. You just been brainwashed and you don't see it. But at the same time, you don't care. As long as it's us and not you. I don't know. But they've been lying to me. And it's sad.
Yeah.
It's sad. Like, I look at it like there probably have been police killings of white people, but white people don't want to make noise about it. That's not our problem.
Well, I mean, they're probably also running around like with axes and weapons and stuff and spitting on them. So if it did happen,
around naked with little pistols and I don't know, but hey. But we're gonna move right along. I hope you guys are enjoying the show so far. This is what I got. Today was well, not today, but the other day. So it's Thursday, Tuesday. If you guys didn't see it, go on YouTube. They had 3 survivors of the Tulsa massacre that happened back in the where was 1920s?
Oh yeah,
Oklahoma. Yeah, it happened in Oklahoma, but I think it happened 1920, 1921. Over 100 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, 1920, 1921, around that time.
May 31st, May 31st, 1921.
If you guys didn't see it, I'll make sure to leave a link. Miss Quest actually went into a little bit of details about the whole massacre a couple episodes ago. I can't remember exactly which one. I'll try to find it and make sure I have a link in the description so you guys can go check out that. But just the other day, 3 survivors from that massacre testified in front of Congress because right now, the local government in Oklahoma does not recognize that massacre. It to them, it never happened. One day, you had a group of very, very successful Black people, doctors, lawyers, business owners, pharmacists, teachers, nurses, dentists. Damn it, newspaper. They had their own goddamn newspaper.
Pilots.
Planes. Flying planes. They had their own thing. One day they're there. The government's like, I don't know. Next day they moved. They left the city. I don't know what happened. They just left. Right? That's how the government looks at what happened. But you got 3 survivors that got to testify in front of Congress the other day. We have Viola Fletcher. She is the oldest survivor from the massacre. She celebrated her birthday 2 weeks ago. She is 107 years old.
Man.
Let me repeat this. Miss Viola Fletcher is 107 years old when this happened. She was 7 years old. I have a quote. She says, "I can see black men being shot, black bodies in the street. I can still smell smoke and fire." She was 7 years old. This was 100 years ago. Think about that. Let's just try to comprehend that. This lady was alive 100 years ago. Think about what I just said, people. This lady was alive 100 years ago, and she is testifying to the government to say, "Hey, this situation happened, and they haven't recognized it. I lived it. I still smell the smoke and fire." She recalls planes flying overhead. Last time I heard planes flying over a black neighborhood, bombs were being dropped.
Right.
Another survivor, her brother, oh, I'm sorry, not her brother or her sister, but her sister, her friend, Leslie Randall, 106 years old. She testified.
Well, all that black wig on. I'm sorry. I'm looking. Right? I'm like, look at that lady. She looked good. Not a drop of gray hair. She had on that dark black wig. I'm like, what? Sorry. I'm sorry, but that was great.
No. I'm glad you pointed that out. I just want to say, Miss Viola Fletcher, clear, sharp. You could hear that if you would have put your hand over your face or turned your head, you would have thought 70, 80, maybe even 90-year-old lady is speaking. Like, I heard her clear. She wasn't, like when someone's, of that age and may talk like clear. You could hear the distinction. Yeah, she may have fumbled a little bit, but damn it, she's 107 years old. And she's testifying to this country to make sure that something that terrorized her, her family, her friends, maybe even some of our family members. We don't, there's probably some people, their descendants today, they are seeking justice. We're still seeking justice now, 100 years later. Even though this is so powerful though. I'm not trying to make it seem like it's bad. This is powerful that these people, the resilience, that just shows how resilient we are as people. And then lastly, her brother, not her physical brother, but this is how she talked about him. Her brother, Hugh Vance Ellis, he's 100 years old. All three of them got to speak at the Senate to make sure that our government makes the Oklahoma government recognize the horrific massacre that happened. There's more information, there's more stuff, more quotes that all three said. I mean, she had the longest speaking part, but just to hear her words and to be like, people did this to us. And she was just, why? She kept asking, her and Miss Randall kept asking, why? Why us? What did we do wrong? We're living our lives. It's unfortunate, Miss Viola Fletcher, she could only, she has a 4th grade education. She could not finish her schooling when this happened, when a mob of angry white people came to this successful community, wasn't bothering nobody. And I guarantee you, some of them probably came over to the doctor, to the dentist, to get their stuff checked out, to get checked.
She was wealthy. But she came from a wealthy family. Her family had wealth.
Yeah. She, in her speech, she was like, yo, everything that a person needs to be successful was right there at her fingertips. Good education, a loving family, a powerful, awesome community to help mold and make sure she goes on the right path. Everything was there for the taking. and jealousy, envy, hatred, a lack of understanding. These white people came and took that away. And we need to make sure that the state of Oklahoma recognizes what happened. Black Wall Street, everybody talks about that. That's where that came from. That's where the idea of Black Wall Street, Black success, Black finance, generational wealth, that's where that started. When you had a community of successful Black people, and it was taken away. But we have to recognize that again. I'll make sure I'll leave links. All three speeches was definitely powerful. They all had their own take on it, but at the end of the day, they all spoke about what happened, and they're all seeking justice for an injustice that happened to them. So again, I'll make sure to have links to that. Moving right along. Right now, last week I talked briefly about what's going on in Israel and Palestine. Hamas firing rockets, Israel firing rockets. As of right now, it's, and again, violence on either side is horrific. But in this particular situation, there's a big gap. There's a big difference. Unfortunately, 12 Israelis lost their lives, but you have over 200 people from Palestine who lost their lives, and majority of them are women and children. It's a crazy situation that's been happening, but Joe Biden sat him down, and they got a ceasefire. There are a lot of progressives saying more should have been done, which should have been done. But as of right now, we're going to take any victory we can. We definitely need peace. There has to be some type of talks to get them to come together. But as of right now, there is a ceasefire in place. Hopefully, that'll give them time to figure out this long history, between Israel and the Palestine Palestine, Palestinians. I'm not sure. Palestinians, is that the correct?
I think so.
Palestinians. So I'll make sure to have information about that in the description. Quick update. This is some local news, and I'll make this quick because we are running a little bit over time. So real quick, the Boston mayoral race is going. It's live. It's heating up. Right now, the two leading candidates in this order, Michelle Wu is leading, followed closely behind acting Mayor Kim Janey. I think it's going to basically boil down to name recognition, honestly.
Are these polling? Is this like a poll? Is that what that is? How?
Yep.
Okay.
It's many Boston voters remain unfamiliar with candidates. Right now, a lot of people are leaning on name recognition. A lot of people in Boston know about Michelle Wu. She's very active in the community, very, very visible. You can talk to her. I've seen her a couple times on the train, very approachable. And of course, Kim Janey, she's the acting mayor. She was the president of the city council, so she's been in the public eye. So people know who they are, but they're not really familiar either with their politics, their policy, their platform, right, or the other candidates. So it's Michelle Wu, Kim Janey, Anissa BC George. I can never pronounce her middle name, but Anissa George, okay, Andrea Campbell, John Barrows, and John Santiago. So that's the order of who's leading in the race. I'll make sure to have more updates as they go along, as they come out. And again, I'll have a link to this so you guys can read the article, see for yourself. It's awesome to see these two ladies as the front runner, right, in the race. Of course, Kim Janey does have the experience right now as interim mayor, so that will help
Right.
But it all comes down to who people like. And in this particular case, it should boil down to policy, what they stand for, how they're going to help out the community. Because at the end of the day, that's what it's about. It's about the people in the community that the mayor serves. Not just
Right.
white people, not just black people, but the community, the city. But at the same time, we have to make sure that black and brown people are being heard and being represented. So we'll keep you updated on the Boston mayoral race. So moving right along, uh, Tim Ryan. Wow, that was one of the quotes
Yeah.
in Miss Quest quotes for the night. Um, all I can say is wow. I mean, hey, he said it.
You
You
did.
know, it was an awesome speech. And what was that quote? Can you read that quote one more time that
Oh
you
boy.
have?
Hold on. I gotta find it.
I'm sorry, y'all.
It
That
was
quote.
no, it was basically there are two political parties that oh my god, hold on. Sorry. You made me go way back here too. There are
I'm
two
sorry.
political parties. There are two political parties that are both living in. Wait a minute. Hold on. Oh wait. Hold on. Oh, we need two political parties that recognize reality, and you ain't one of them. That
Yep,
is it.
that is a
We
awesome quote.
need, yes, we need two political parties that
You know,
recognize
it's
reality.
because I don't know what Trump did. I don't know what he activated. I don't know
Yeah.
what it is, but his not living in reality has literally just seeped into the entire Republican Party.
Yeah.
I mean, the fact that they kicked out Liz Cheney, the third in command, who voted on everything,
Yeah.
it they were like, nope, because you didn't say Trump won or it
Right.
was stolen, you gotta go. Hey, you know what? I don't care. It's funny, but it just shows you how lost the Republican Party is. They're so out of touch, even with their own morals and
Right.
values. Like
Right.
what made the Republican Party the Republican Party?
Right.
What?
Yeah.
Y'all just crazy now. It's just a crazy party.
Yeah.
Like seriously, even the Republican people that are actual like Republicans and are in reality, yo, the fact that you're still there, you're going along with it. So hey, y'all figure it out. Y'all are a lost people. And but he's right though. If we don't have two people, two parties, or enough people on one side that represent the majority of the people,
Right.
where nothing's gonna change.
Right.
Nothing's gonna change. You know, I mean, Republicans don't know how to empathize. They don't understand that the stuff that they put in place hurt people. It doesn't
Right.
help. Like, so it's not the fact that we need a two-party system so we can have bipartisanship. No, we need people who understand what the average person is going through, that
Right.
understand the struggles so that we can create laws that help them so that they can, by what Republicans say, pull themselves up by their own bootstraps.
Right.
But if you don't have the resources in place, just like Miss Viola Fletcher said, everything she needed in her life to be successful was there. And if it's not, it got taken away. And she couldn't finish school. She has a
Right.
fourth grade education. Her
Yeah.
success, her resources that would have made her become successful was taken. And that's what's going on with black and brown people, with poor people in general,
Yeah.
white people included. If you don't have the resources available, you're not going to be successful, no matter how hard you try, because you don't have that. You might need to go to a certain building. You might need something particular to
Right.
help get you to that next level. But because the resource that may produce that particular, or there's a building or a store, a resource is gone. You can't take it. You can't use it to your advantage.
Right.
So, Yes, yeah, we need two parties to help pass the laws that benefit everybody. But right now, that other party is batshit crazy. And because of that, we need the right people in those offices, in those places. Prime example, North Carolina. Batshit crazy. We need people who are going to help Erica Smith, North Carolina. Prime example. So again, Tim Ryan's speech, it was dope. You know, he had a lot of points. But I'm not relying on the Republican Party to ever get in line. I'm just want the people that who represent us in office.
Right.
So hey, it is what it is. But awesome speech. Last thing I got. Richard Jackson is getting disbarred for withholding evidence against two black men who um uh who were sentenced to life in prison. So basically, Richard Jackson was a prosecutor, um, and 14 years ago, back in 2000, a person, uh, a pastor was murdered. And the police grabbed up Stanley Mosey and Dennis Allen. Said they did it. This DA, Richard Jackson, held evidence that proved that both of these men were innocent. They spent 14 years of their lives in prison for something that they did not do. And to this day, even though Richard Jackson did get disbarred, he's gone. He's still saying he did not withhold evidence.
Of course.
Like, even after it's been proven that the information he had vindicated these two black men, he's still saying he didn't withhold evidence. So that just shows you how messed up the system is. It shows you that racist people have infiltrated different levels of society, just like Ms. Quest talked about earlier in the show. Law enforcement, political parties, you know, we have to fight back.
Yep.
We have to fight back. And by fighting back, we fight back with our voting power. You know, we fight back by supporting one another. We fight back by supporting small businesses. You know, black-owned business. I'm sorry, we got it. We got to support black-owned business, small black-owned business. We have to. We have to. That's how we fight back. We fight back by making sure, again, we go out and vote, and we vote the people that represent us in office: DA, mayor, city council. Fuck, I'll even go and say your local alderman. You know what I'm saying? Like, it has to be across the board. It has to be. Even if you call yourself a Republican, if you don't represent the people, I don't know. I don't know what to say. I don't know. But we need people in office that represent the people. And that's what we're here for, to help you and weed out and show, oh, he's horrible. But yo, check this person out.
Right.
You know, we're here to help. But that's all I got. Anything you want to say before we close out?
Just tune in next week. We do have a special guest.
Yes.
We have a congressional candidate. We are not going to tell you who, but tune in next week, 8:00.
Y'all, let me see. Y'all have a good rest of the week.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Thank y'all for tuning in. This is your second reminder. Please like, share, subscribe. Hit that like button. I know y'all like this show. It was a dope show. We was laughing, joking the whole time.
The whole time. Sorry we went a little over. Sorry, but you know, it was fun.
Right? And y'all enjoyed it. Y'all like us. Y'all like us. But anyway, y'all have a good rest of the night, a awesome rest of the week and the weekend. And please tune in next week.
Please.
Please, we have a special guest. It's going to be awesome, like always. Again, this is your third reminder. Like, share, subscribe, all of that.
Yes.
And everything we talked about will be in the description below.
Yes. Bye, guys.
Peace. See y'all next week.